Hi everyone, I'm Ian. The last thing that I would want my final words to be would be Demolition Man for the Sega CD. Demolition Man for the Sega CD. Oh, damn. A console's final game. Not what most people think about. Most people only really think about the launch games of a console, never what the last game is. I am not most people. I own almost every Nintendogs, but it's still fun to take a look at these games. Now, I'm not going to go over every console's last game. The Atari 5200's final game being Gremlins might be interesting to you, but it's not to me. The Fairchild Channel F was the first console to ever use game cartridges instead of having the games built in, which today isn't much to really care about, but at the time, this was huge. Huge! You didn't only have Pong to play, but 27 other games to play. It still had hockey and tennis built in, so it did still have Pong to play, so all of you Pong fans don't need to riot about it. Now, there's technically two separate times that the Channel F had a final game. 41 years apart. What? Video Kart 26, Alien Invasion, was the final game to come out for the Channel F while the console was still in production in 1981. And yes, it is a Space Invaders clone. Oh, thank God. But there was a second time that the Channel F had a final game, and it was in 2022, with Video Kart 29, the Arlasoft collection. Now, this is not an official release, but it's on the Wikipedia page for the Channel F, so I'm counting it. Sue me! This is a collection of 4 homebrew games for the console made by fans of it over at AtariAge.com. The games include 2048, the mobile game, Centipede, a snake clone, Tents and Trees, where you put up a tent or something, and Threes, another version of 2048. This is quite cool to have as a final release, but for the official final release, it's Space Invaders. The Game & Watch is something that I absolutely love. Fun, quick games meant to just kill time, and oh boy do they do that. The final Game & Watch game was Mario the Juggler, a recreation of the game Ball, but with Mario and friends. Now this is different from the version from the Mario 35th Anniversary version of Ball. The Anniversary edition is more true to the original Ball, just replacing the doll's head with Mario's head. But Mario the Juggler is so cool. It's got the full Mario and a Mario themed background. I feel like this is a great final game for the Game & Watch. The Sega Master System, a console that's technically not dead, but only in Brazil. I've already bought my ticket. The final official release for the Master System is, funnily enough, Sonic the Hedgehog. Kill it with fire. Sega ported a 16-bit game onto an 8-bit console. Why? I guess this means that people could play the new big thing from Sega, but this just looks bad. Nevertheless, this is still a cool thing to exist. The Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo's flagship console and a console that saved the gaming industry from the video game crash of 1983. And the final game is... He owns a forest? Wario's Woods, a puzzle game where you play from inside the game board, also you're Toad, not Wario. What the hell? You use Toad to move the pieces inside the board to destroy the monsters with bombs of the same color. And that's about it. The only cool thing about Wario's Woods over something like Tetris or Puzzle League is instead of directly moving the pieces as they come in, you instead move them around with Toad, which is unique. My favorite, VR before VR was really viable, the Analog Man. Wait, the Virtual Boy. The Virtual Boy flopped hard, complete with 4 shades of vomit-inducing red and wireframes. I thought this was a dream. Turns out it's a nightmare. And its final game was 3D Tetris, arguably the worst way to play Tetris, competing with the board game version of Tetris, but at least that version doesn't make you sick, unless you eat the pieces. 3D Tetris makes you place pieces in a 3D space instead of a 2D space, which looks like it is so much harder. Yeah, I don't own a Virtual Boy. It's one of my life's biggest regrets. Now, I'm sure this is a fine version of Tetris, but it's not really Tetris. It's Tetris, but in 3D! Harry Potter, a huge and loved series of books and movies. Why is there a Game Boy Color game of this? Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for the Game Boy Color. I own this for some reason. Way back when I was in middle school, I went to a local secondhand video game store. My brother and I were allowed to pick out a game each, and we each chose a Game Boy Color game. For some reason. We only had one Game Boy and could only play on that as the DS doesn't play anything other than GBA games. We didn't know this, we were stupid kids. My brother got Pokemon Crystal and I got this. And this is kinda boring. I remember when I got this, I never really got past the first level. It's not bad, but I've just never been a huge fan of video game adaptations of books and movies. Now, this is an adaptation of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And that's the end of that thought. The final console that I want to talk about is actually going to be two consoles, the Wii and Wii U. The original Wii had a long life, being produced from 2006 to 2012, with the Wii Family lasting from 2011 to 2014, and the Wii Mini from 2012 to 2017, which means that the Wii lasted 11 years in total. Now, the Wii U was released in 2012 and discontinued in 2017. Yeah, less than half the lifespan of the Wii, and it was discontinued the same year as the Wii. Now, even after both were discontinued, they kept getting games released for them. Now, they were typically Just Dance games, but it's only fair that the last games were, okay, that makes sense for the Wii, but what about the Wii U? Yeah, the Wii got one more Just Dance than the Wii U, though it makes sense that the Wii got more Just Dances than the Wii U. I mean, everybody has a Wii, including my own grandpa. Only weird people have a Wii U. It's not what it looks like. It's worse. It also makes sense that the Wii got Just Dance 2020 and the Wii U didn't. I mean, you can just play Wii games on the Wii U, so it doesn't make much sense to put the same game out on two consoles that both play the same version. It's still really funny that the Wii got games later than the Wii U. Well, that was fun. There's obviously some consoles that I missed, like the GameCube with Oh Hell No, or the original Xbox with Oh Hell No, or the PS3 with Hell Yeah! Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing, hit subscribe. And if you have any recommendations for videos to make, leave it in the comments.